Up until now, we've got the mould ready. We've moulded the hull. We've moulded the deck. We've cut and shut the hull and the deck. We've done the repair and repainted everything. We've installed deck tread on the deck. And we've bonded the hull and deck together.
Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't.
The next job is to Sikaflex on the deck flange belting. Once that is cured, lock line is fastened to the hull so that we can install our sunbrella over the fenders. EVA foam is cut to size using templates and then affixed to the hull using contact cement.
Gun with contact in it and spray it out like that.
Once this is dry, we try our hand at upholstery, using lock line to fix the sunbrella in place. A little bit of work is needed to get round the corners and get everything tucked in.
After this one, none.
Time for a splash.
Have to put a bit of sticker in there.
It's been a pretty long, hard 3 weeks, but we've got this little fat bottom girl ready for launching now. So last thing to do is get the forklift in, put it on the back of the ute, take it down to where she'll get a bum wet. Fantastic. feel. First thing in the boat, very, very stable. Very high bow. With one person in it, the bow is 500 mils off the water. So looking pretty good. First up, we're going to try it in a few different conditions and things like that. But yeah, it's looking really good. I'm very happy with it. Even just driving from the boat ramp around to the back of the boat.
The first thing that has to be done is a sink test for certification. The tender passes with flying colours.
Now the next test we're going to do is I'm going to get Pete's outboard. He's got a 6 horsepower outboard. I'm going to take the electric one off the back of this, put a 6 horsepower outboard on it and just see how she goes. So this is going to be a test with a 6 horsepower outboard on it. This is a 6 horsepower Honda. We're getting 12-13 knots out of that once we got it out of the hole and up on the plane.
My 3-year-old electric outboard must have known what was going on and started giving an error message it wouldn't run.
Well, another busy morning this morning. Got a bit to do. I've decided I'm going to go for a bigger outboard on this new tender. I'm going to see if I can source one in Poon.
I ended up sourcing a 6 horsepower Mercury outboard off the shelf locally.
Got to be a bit patient. I've got to run this motor in a bit, so no wide open throttle for about an hour or so. The davit crane off the back. But anyway, I've just taken it off this morning and I'm going to take it and get it extended by about 200 mils to suit the new dinghy. So let's get it up to the ute. Okay, I've got the davit back, I've just got to install it, so I've rigged up a little bit of a rope system to give me a hand. It's not that heavy, but I don't want to get to this stage and drop it into the water. Okay, now why I'm putting Sikaflex on this is because if you don't sicker around anything stainless steel you put on your hull, it'll rust and water will get in behind it and you'll get rust stains all over your gel coat. So anytime you're going to put any stainless against your gel coat, make sure you sicker it on, whether it's a flange like this or even just a washer. All we need to do now, while it's going off, is just clean up the excess. So what I do is just use a credit card that I've cut a bit square and get most of it off just onto a bit of rag. So just go around the edges and get the bulk amount of it off with the credit card, because once you hit this with terps, it's going to spread it everywhere. You take a little bit of sicker in from being a little bit of sicker to a lot of sicker. But I've got a good bead squeeze now to around all those. The extension's in place, the dinghy's finished, even got the 10-2 Peggy-Anne sticker on it. So I think we're ready to test it out. I'm just waiting for the sicker flex to go off a bit more here. I'll tighten that all up tonight. But before we do all that, I've just put all my tools away, got out of the shower, and I'm going to take the dinghy over to the yacht club and have a well-earned beer. Let's go. Oh, this is so good. Well, that's the end of 4 pretty long weeks building the dinghy, and then the last week, I guess, I've spent just setting it up so I can lift it up onto my davit. It's been a bit of mucking around getting the bridle right, getting the length of all the arms on the bridle right, but I've got that done. She's on the back of the boat. Fantastic. Now all I've got to do is put all my tools away, and yeah, I'll do a little bit of shopping and then get out of here. So I think the way it is on the back of the boat, that'll get me across Bass Strait, and it'll be nice and secure there, and it's pretty easy to launch and retrieve like the old one was. And I can get around a little bit faster with the new Outboard. Good stuff. It's been a busy morning, just defrosting the fridges. I went over and got fuel on the boat, so we're loaded up with fuel. I'll get these fridges defrosted, I'll put some water on the boat, and tomorrow we're going to head down to Tassie. Fantastic. So really looking forward to getting going now. The boat's ready to go, I think. Mechanically I think she's alright, touch wood, but we'll you know, deal with anything that comes up along the way. Just getting a few little chores done, all the washing's done. We're pretty ready to go. We'll get out of the marina, and what I'm going to do is head down the reef. So I'll head from Great Keppel. I'll spend a day or so out there, and then the wind's going around to the north, and we're going to get some good weather for doing the southern Great Barrier Reef. So I'll go down past Heron and maybe stop there, and then to Fitzroy and Mussey, and then down to Bundy, I guess. So yeah, looking forward to getting out on the ocean again. Fantastic. But anyway, I better keep going and get this fridge done. Well, it's so good to drop the lines and get out on the ocean again. A little bit choppy going over to GKI this afternoon, probably about 15 knots blowing. Wouldn't want it much worse than this. But yeah, just so good to get out of the marina and give the old girl a run. I think she enjoys it too. So we'll just take it easy going over there. We're getting along at about 5. When I get to Great Keppel, I'm going to dive on the boat, check the props out. They might need a bit of a buff up. Been in the marina for probably 5 weeks. So I'll do all those things before we leave and do a big trip. She might be a bit slower with the props being a bit foul, but touch wood, she's a good old girl. I think she'd rather be out here than tied up in a marina, that's for sure. Me too. When you've been in a marina for a fair while like I have, it's always a good idea to keep a bit of a grip on things just until you get your sea legs, because it is a little bit different being out here. When you haven't done it for a while, your muscles take a little bit of time to react to things. So first day or so out, you want to be bracing yourself, and one hand for the boat, one hand for yourself. Anyway, we'll get all this stuff stowed, and then all I've got to do is anchor when I get over there. Looks like there could be a few more storms around this afternoon too, so we'll keep an eye on that sort of weather. Dinghy's behaving herself on the back there all right, which is great. A little bit rough. We don't usually travel at this point of sail, so it's a bit of a test for it, but it looks like it's quite happy there. Keep an eye on that as we head across. Nearly had a tragedy this morning. I was under the boat giving the props a clean, and I think I heard the guy knock on the boat. I wondered what it was. I thought it might have been the dive tank knocking against the side of the boat. But when I got back, I found my dinghy tied to the ladder that I got out of the water. I thought, what's going on here? But what's happened, the splice in the double braid had let go and the dinghy was halfway to shore. So thanks to old mate off Black Diamond for bringing it back. Would have been tragedy losing it after 3 days.
While I've got the gear out, Pete decides to raft up and clean his props as well.
There's quite a storm built up just to the south of us, and I think we might even wear a little bit of it ourselves when it comes in. A lot of lightning and thunder at the moment. The wind's still out of the east. It's supposed to have gone round to the north by now, so that's why we stayed at Long Beach. But we're in a pretty good spot, because if I do have to get out of here with storms like this coming through, it's a pretty easy run straight out to deep water. I don't want to be too close to the beach with weather like this around. So anyway, a bit of a wild night by the look of it for our farewell to the Keppels. I dove on the boat today, had a good look at the hull, really good. The Ultec number 5 Plus is doing a great job. There's hardly any growth on it, and anything it is on it, it's really soft and just falls off. The props need a little bit of a scrub up. A bit of the prop speed's missing off the tips, and there's some shell getting on them, so I've cleaned them up. So good and ready to go. I've done my engine room checks. I've got the dinghy lashed on the back, and yeah, we'll just let this weather go through. I'm thinking about leaving probably 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that, but if it's blowing like this, I won't be going anywhere. I'll stay here. I might even go back around the corner where it's a bit more sheltered, but we'll just see how it pans out. So it's some very heavy weather coming in, and what am I doing? I'm going to stay on anchor. I'm just going to get my instruments in night mode. Don't like the look of this storm, so we're just going out and giving ourselves a bit of sea room. No good being near a beach when stuff like this is going on, so I thought I could try and ride it out, but you're just never sure what it's going to chuck at you, so we'll just go out for an hour or so and we're all battened down and ride. This wind's really spun around with the storm. That was close. I'm not sure, but I reckon there was a boat hitting that one. That was right out behind us. Yeah, the wind's gone right round. It's blowing in from the south now, so you'll be getting blown straight onto the beach over there. I'm glad I made the decision to up the anchor and come out, and I can just mill around out here for as long as I like. We're not going to get too much wave action here because we're pretty sheltered in around the islands here, but yeah, I just didn't want to be blown onto that beach. The joys of boating. Just looking at the radar, and I think we're through the worst of it now, so we're just pretty well on the back edge of it. I might head around to Fisherman's. I might just head back in here when the wind dies off a bit, and we'll anchor up again. The wind's gone right round to the southwest now, so a lot of changes, but at least we're not on that beach. Just come back in a bit closer. I think the storm's gone through, so we'll anchor up again. I'll keep a fair way off the beach anyway, but we'll get the pick down again now. I think the storm's just about gone through. Pretty uncomfortable here at the moment with the leftover swell we've got, but I think that might die off in an hour or so, and we could have a pleasant night. Anyway, that's how I handle thunderstorms. Best way to do it, I think.
A very early start from GKI sees us using really fantastic weather to anchor at Northwest Island for the first night, and then making our way further south to Fitzroy and Lady Musgrave Lagoon. See you next week, dudes.